Cyberpunk 2077 is an RPG game set in the future, and it's coming out on the 10th of December. Now, a lot of people think it's gonna get delayed again, but I for one think it's not gonna get delayed again, because I hope so. I want to play it. And Cyberpunk 2077 will probably be... It will probably be the first ever game that I will buy pre-premiere. Basically meaning that I'm gonna spend a lot of money on it. So in today's video I figured, why not do a video about my thoughts. I am really bad at English, okay? Don't judge me, mate. Mate, viewer, whatever you are. My teacher watches these videos for all I know. So yeah, today we're gonna be looking forward... Today we are going to be looking through my initial thoughts about this game. We're gonna be talking about melee, guns and driving. And also the open world and the overall detail and feel. Yes, I wrote a script for this. Because I'm done. So starting off with the first thing, which is melee. Melee is really important and I really like it. I love doing playthroughs where I only punch with me hands, or I love doing playthroughs where I only punch with me katana, you know, slice through them. Boys, this is a kid-friendly channel, I can't swear. And also my teacher watches these videos. Now, from what we've seen from the Night City Wire or the trailers, the melee doesn't look that good. While the melee weapons feel good, and you can counter, you can attack, the enemy actually responds to them, the melee with your hands doesn't feel right. You know, you only do these moves. And that's not a good move, okay? That doesn't feel like you're punching a human. Not like I ever punched a human, but you get what I mean. From the trailers, it looks like it works just like the Far Cry 5 melee. While the melee weapons in Far Cry 5 are good, and they have force behind them, you can charge them up, you can throw them. Punching with your fist just feels like you're punching the air. Here is some gameplay of that.
What the fuck?
It doesn't have any force behind it, so that's definitely a thing that I hope they fix once the game comes out. Moving on to guns. Yes, guns. Now, CYBERPUNK Red, I said that with a Polish accent. So, yeah, it's not CD Projekt. If you want to be Polish about it, you say CYBERPUNK Red. Apparently CD Projekt Red actually hired a professional gamer to show them how the guns work. You know, how to make guns satisfying, how to make the reloads heavy and hard, you know? When you want to see that force when you reload your gun, like in this clip. And from what we've seen, it actually looks good. The reloading feels satisfying, you actually want to do it. Especially for me, when I reload every time I shoot one bullet. Relatable, right? The shooting feels also good. There is recoil, which recoil is a really rare thing to see from RPG games. The enemies actually react to the bullets. There is a variety of weapons. You have heavy weapons, you have smart weapons that work like the smart pistol in Titanfall 2. You have ARs, you have shotguns, you have power weapons, whatever weapons, you have mind weapons, you have toy weapons. There is a lot of variety in that, and there's also customization, which customization is a really important thing, because I think that Outer Worlds, one of my favorite RPG games ever, lacked one thing, which was customization. I couldn't feel like the gun I was using was mine. It was just a gun that I found. But Cyberpunk actually got that covered, making use of attachments, probably some weapon scans, different mags, different grips, and that's really good. I like motion tracking in editing, it looks cool, so I'm just gonna do this for a bit. Yeah, maybe not, it takes a lot of time. And now, the driving. From what I've seen from the trailers, the driving doesn't look good, especially in third person. You know, it looks like you're car is not actually sticking to the road. It's just, you know, it feels like it's a little bit levitating. It isn't heavy. The steering behind corners feels like there's no force to the vehicle. You just go left, you just go right. But then there's first person in cars, which actually doesn't show the wheels, and it looks good. You know, you don't feel that levitation of the vehicle. When you turn on the road, you get some feedback. Now, somebody who played Cyberpunk 2077 actually said that the driving in third person feels good. So I may be wrong. It's maybe only because of the footage. But from what I've seen, it doesn't feel that good. You know, it doesn't feel like GTA 5 driving or GTA 5 driving. But the detail of the cars, the first person, the interiors really make up for it, because you can clearly see that the developers put so much work into this. Like, I even saw a clip where they were doing the audio for the vehicles. They literally had mics that looked like my pillow and broom broom, and they recorded the sound. Much detail, much appreciated, it looks great. So that was mainly guns and driving. Now onto the open world. The open world, it apparently is smaller than the Witcher 3 world, which is kind of a bummer. But then again, you look at the detail of it, you look at the depth of it, you look at that you can enter certain buildings. You know, for example, Watch Dogs 2 had a small open world, but it had much depth. You know, you could go into restaurants, the streets were detailed. And from what I've seen, because this is a video about what I've seen, Cyberpunk does the same, with even more detail. You know, you have the Badlands, you have gangs, you have buildings that you can go into, you have slums, you have corpo buildings, you have the docks, you have orbital something station. I've only heard that once, and I don't even know what it is about, but I know there is something like that in the world. And the open world feels good. Onto the overall detail on feel. It's an RPG game, so you can definitely expect them to put much detail into the world. You know, you can interact with characters, you can say certain things, you have the life paths, you have Nomad, Corpo and Street Kid. It adds to the variety of gameplay. You actually need to do a couple of playthroughs to feel the game as it stands, to do everything in it. The detail is incredible. You know, many people that played the game actually mostly talk about this topic, that every place feels like it's a new place, basically meaning that there isn't any copy and paste. So you can expect detail, you know, it's an RPG game. They need to put much detail into the characters. You need to feel compassion. You need to feel like you're making the choices. And the feel? It feels like you're in a futuristic metropolis. So yeah, as of right now, I'd rate the game a solid 9 out of 10. For now, we'll see when the game actually launches. I think it's gonna be really fun. I think it's gonna have depth in it. I think it's gonna be a cool RPG game that you can really embrace yourself in it. I'm also buying it pre-premiere, so if you want to check it out, stay tuned on this channel till the 10th of December. Once the game launches, I'm gonna do a quick video about it, and you'll see if you like it. Basically,